Hi, I'm Simon, security expert, and in this video I'm going to explain to you why your dog is just not going to cut it when it comes to security and protection of your premises. So to begin, something I hear all the time is that people think that because they've got pets, they can't have an intruder alarm. They might say, oh, well, we leave the cat or the dog in the house while we're out, so we just wouldn't be able to set the alarm. Now, that just isn't true. There are many things that have been made now to accommodate for these kind of things, such as pet immune or pet friendly motion sensors. So you've probably seen these. They just sit in the corner of someone's house or in a commercial premises, and they're there to pick up motion. Now, these can also have a built-in feature for pet immunity, where if they see a object that is under a certain weight, say 30 kilograms, what's that in pounds? Probably 60 pounds, then it won't trigger the alarm. So you can set your alarm as normal and your pets can move around inside. The detector will know that it's not a human moving around inside. It'll know to ignore it. Also, if you do have a pet that happens to be over the 30 to 35 kilogram mark, then there are other things you can do, such as perimeter protection. Now, what that means is instead of having the motion sensors, you can have things like shock sensors on windows and doors, and even external motion sensors. So the shock sensors that sit on a window will sit on the frame, and if it notices any vibration going through the window, it will trigger the alarm. And as an entry point, if someone was trying to get access to your house, they're really effective because it'll actually trigger the alarm system before they're inside. And because it's not looking for any kind of motion, then your pets can stay inside while the system's armed. You also have external detection. This is quite new to the industry, but extremely effective. So you'll have a sensor, a motion sensor that sits on the outside wall. Now, this will be looking into, say, your back garden. Sometimes it can be used in front gardens, but obviously you don't want it to be going off if like the postman's coming in. But so usually for a back garden area, what this will do is it will use the technology inside the sensor to know if a human is approaching the house. And this will trigger your alarm when someone is maybe 10 meters away from even getting to your property. So it's really, really excellent protection because it's not just stopping someone the moment they gain entry or even close to your house. It's stopping someone and the alarm's going off when they're 10 meters away from your property. So there are plenty of options that you've got if you do have pets. The next thing I hear a lot is, do I even need a security alarm because I've got a dog? Now, a common story I always get told is that someone has asked for advice from a policeman, which for some reason people take it as gospel if a policeman tells them something. And the policeman said to them, don't worry about a security alarm, just get a dog. This is complete nonsense for multiple reasons. One, dogs are trained to be quiet at night, and often, as much to your surprise as it may be, someone can break into a house, the dog can be in at nighttime and the dog might make no noise. I once had a customer who was asleep in bed with the dog sleeping on the bed with him. He got broken into. The burglar came into his bedroom, removed his keys from his coat, and then left and stole the car. The dog didn't make a sound. Okay, so they're not always as loud and as audible as they might be in the daytime. Now, there are some instances where you get trained protection dogs, but it's not very common. Really, dogs aren't there bought solely for protection. They're part of the family. And you don't want them as your first line of defense if someone is trying to gain access to your property. There are many ways that burglars will go around getting past a dog. It's really not as complicated as you might think. One very easy way is if a burglar breaks into the property, he might take a piece of meat with him, a little bit of ham, feed it to the dog, and all of a sudden, trust me, that dog is his best friend and he's got no problem at all and won't be making a lot of noise. There are other more sinister ways that people will go around getting past the dog, but it's something I'm not going to go into here. And also, don't forget, if the dog's out, then bang, no alarm. Okay, so it's useless unless the dog's in the property anyway. With being in this industry for over 10 years, I've dealt with a lot of people who are having back and forth with their insurance companies. If they've got high value goods in their home or their business, they might say, you need an intruder alarm for us to insure your property. And in all my time, I have never once heard an insurance company say, unless you've got a dog, then don't worry about it. It just doesn't happen. There are other benefits with having a security system that some people just don't tend to think about. Things as having smoke sensors on your security system. Now, a lot of the time, people will leave the dog for a short period of time while they go out. Now, with most fire alarm detection, it's just an audible warning device that's actually inside the property. Whereas if you have your smoke sensors linked up to your intruder alarm, then if you've got a networked modern security alarm, it's going to come through to your phone if, God forbid, there is any detection of smoke in the property. And it might just be the difference for you to be able to call the emergency services and get someone to your house to potentially save your pet. The way I think of it with household pets is don't think of them as protection, but think to protect them. Whether it be a dog, budgie, cat, rabbit, koala, get an up-to-date security system, protect your property, and by doing that, you'll look after them as well. Hopefully this has been helpful, and the next episode in the frequently asked questions of security systems is going to be coming soon.